Okay, it's time for a clear takeoff with Richard Kaplan. Richard, who had a little injury in Florida, but he's got a riveting story about the military, and he'll be all over it. So cleared for takeoff with Richard Kaplan. Take it away, Richard.
Thank you, Howie. A March helicopter crash in western Iraq that killed 7 U.S. troops, including 4 members of the 106 Rescue Air Wing of the New York Air National Guard in West Hampton Beach, was caused by pilot error, a poor flight plan, and limited visibility, according to an Air Force investigation. The report that was released Monday by the Air Combat Command Accident Investigation Board found that the HH-60G Pave Hawk helicopter, which is a modified version of the Black Hawk. Now, for those who've seen the movie Black Hawk Down, you know what a Black Hawk looks like. The Pave Hawk basically is modified with a mid-air refueling boom on the front and is used by special forces for extrication missions as well as for air-to-ground rescue. The Pave Hawk is a medium-sized helicopter. It can carry up to 8 troops. It's built by Sikorsky in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it has a history with the Air Force as being their go-to aircraft. The UH-60 model, or U standing for utility, is a replacement to the aging Bell UH-1 Iroquois, which was known lovingly as the Huey. Now, the monitoring investigation found the pilot misinterpreted the aircraft's navigational displays, causing him to overfly his intended destination. The chopper descended into an unplanned location, struck a steel cable that was strung horizontally between 2 341-foot-high towers, the report said. The cables tangled around the main rotor assembly, which in turn caused catastrophic damage to the whole aircraft, rendering it inflyable. Now, the best way I could describe this is by using this pen here. This is our helicopter. Now, most helicopters, like the Nassau County Police, have cable cutters on the front and underneath the aircraft. The Pave Hawk has that as well. Unfortunately, the angle of altitude that this aircraft was operating in most likely rendered the cable cutters useless, and as a result caused the main rotor of the aircraft, which was spinning, to tangle into the cable and thus stop providing lift, rendering auto rotation useless, and thus there was no way that the pilot would be able to get out of this. This is a catastrophic incident in which the helicopter no longer is providing lift from the main rotor, therefore the tail rotor is strained and there is no way the aircraft can fly. Now, the helicopters by nature are relatively safe aircraft. I actually have flown on helicopters a few times, and I can tell you that the military is very, very obsessed about the maintenance of their aircraft. Now, this aircraft underwent a full inspection, and the crew was properly rested and trained, and supervised, investigators stated, which means that the aircraft was inspected for safety purposes and was rendered safe to fly. The pilots were rested at the time, so the only other conclusion is pilot error, Howie, which is unfortunate, because the 106 Air Wing is based out of Gabreski Air Force Base in West Hampton Beach, New York. Among the dead were Staff Sergeant Deshaun Briggs, Master Sergeant Christopher J. Raguso, Captain Christopher T. Zanettis, who was the pilot of the aircraft, and Captain Andreas B. O'Keefe, who were among those killed in the helicopter crash on March 15th in western Iraq. Now, Zanettis was the aircraft's commander. He was the commanding officer of the aircraft. He was the one in charge. And for some weird reason, he misinterpreted the navigation computer on the aircraft, which would have detected these cables within the area. And as a result, you have pilot error.
Richard, thank you so much for on-target report on the terrible tragedy. But once again, you did a great job and you nailed it. Great job, Richard Kaplan.
And if I can quickly, I just want to... Also, very quickly, I just want to send a shout out to my friend Julie. She's suffering from RSV in Florida. Julie, I hope you feel better and get well soon, because we all miss you. And rock the vote. Please go out and vote this Tuesday. It is extremely important. People are always complaining, well, I don't have a say in how my country is run. You could not be further from the truth. You need to vote. Many people fight for this right. I want to dedicate this segment to the 4 who passed away in this crash. You guys are in my thoughts and my prayers. And I know you would encourage people to vote as well. So get out there and vote. Thank you.
Great. Okay, great job, Richard Kaplan.